Okay, I've just read a report in today's Metro, which, if true, if accurate, is pretty damn shocking. I'm going to read out the report. It's not too long, so please bear with me because I want to comment a bit on this afterwards. I was held in filthy US cell over text to my girlfriend. A British man visiting his American girlfriend was locked in a cramped and dirty US cell for 24 hours and deported after officials found a text on his phone saying, "I'm moving to be with you." And the full text says, "In terms of a breakup, I don't know what I've done to make you feel that way, and I think you forgot that in a month's time I'm moving to be with you." Isaac Roblet sent Camilla Iglesias the message a month earlier, which referred to him spending 3 months with her under a ESTA visa waiver. But when immigration staff seized the phone and discovered the text, they claimed he was planning to stay longer. Mr. Roblet, 24, was interrogated for 90 minutes at Chicago Airport, I assume that's O'Hare, and thrown into a cell with four others with a hole in the ground for a toilet. He was put on a plane to Heathrow the next day without seeing the 23-year-old Miss Iglesias and is now banned from entering the US for life. He also had to pay £700 for the flight. Speaking of his ordeal, the marketing manager said it was horrible. They sent the message to my girlfriend. They said the message to my girlfriend was evidence enough to not allow me in. I was almost crying. I had to hold back the tears. Mr. Roblett said the full message about moving to be with you meant for the duration of a holiday. He added, "I wouldn't say visit you if it's 3 months." Mr. Roblett of Hastings, East Sussex, flew to Chicago on April 24th to mark their 1 year anniversary as a couple. They had met when she was studying on a student exchange at Rose Bruford College of Theatre and Dance in Sidcup, Southeast London. The Foreign Office said our staff offered advice to a British man who was denied entry to the USA and were in contact with the immigration authorities regarding his case. Now, this situation is very far from unique. There have been a lot of pretty shocking stories in the last few years about just how harsh and excessive the US immigration services can be. It sounds to me like this was a simple misunderstanding over a text message, and they're treating this guy like he's a dangerous criminal. I mean, I'm broadly pro American, but just because we're allies with the United States doesn't mean that we should just be okay with these sort of excesses. And quite frankly, and this might offend some of my American viewers, but so be it. America's human rights record is very far from shining. Very far from shining. So when America lectures other countries on human rights, you get situations like this. Now, it was one night, okay, there are far worse situations in the world, but it's definitely excessive in my opinion. Why couldn't they have just given him a fine and, I don't know, not renewed his visa or something? It just seems to treat him like a dangerous criminal, to throw him in a cramped cell, to interrogate him for 90 minutes. It just seems very excessive. And I imagine if an American citizen went through something similar in this country, and they wouldn't, because our system is just not that degrading, there'd be an almighty outcry. So, whilst I believe we should have strong ties with the United States, we shouldn't shy away from criticizing things like this. I think it's excessive, and I don't know how anyone could justify that. I actually support America's right to have controlled immigration, and maybe the guy should have been a little bit more clear. But he shouldn't have went through that degrading and what must have been a deeply stressful experience. For what? Because of a text message? It just seems very, very excessive, shameful. This is America's image under Trump. And I'm not saying it was perfect under Obama. I'm not saying that this sort of thing is only happening under Trump, but matched with the ultra nationalistic rhetoric that Trump comes out with, this is the image of America these days. Much less land of the free as land of the frankly paranoia.